Hello, Washington Commanders fans. Get ready for an analysis that will leave you concerned because you'll discover how the Laremy Tunsil negotiations have taken an unexpected turn after Trent Williams entered into a contract dispute with the 49ers, and how this could cost millions more to renew our left tackle. But it doesn't stop there. We're going to dive into the toughest decision Dan Quinn will have to make regarding Bobby Wagner, a future Hall of Fame member who wants to keep playing but goes against our younger team philosophy. And there's more. You'll understand why we need to extend Deebo Samuel, the receiver who became our number one when McLaurin got injured. The Washington Commanders are at the 2026 NFL Scouting Combine this week, and will then get back to business with the start of free agency on March 9th. As a fan who follows every move, I know these upcoming weeks will be crucial for the team's future. Even at the NFL Scouting Combine, the Commanders were questioned about the most talked about issues involving the team. General Manager Adam Peters took the podium on Tuesday and was asked about the contract extension negotiations with Laremy Tunsil, who is the next big headline of the offseason. Peters emphasized how much he wanted to get a deal done quickly, but things may have been impacted after one of the best left tackles in the league entered a contractual conflict with his own team. Trent Williams enters into a contract dispute with the San Francisco 49ers, and that is news that changes everything. The offseason is when players receive their salaries, but sometimes surprising decisions arise, and all eyes are on the San Francisco 49ers now. NFL journalist Adam Schefter reported on Tuesday night that future Hall of Fame left tackle Trent Williams and the 49ers are having difficulties. A very surprising decision could arise from this, with Williams rumored to be released if the two sides can't agree on a value. This would represent a significant $39 million impact on the salary cap for the next season. This doesn't just affect the 49ers and all the teams looking for a left tackle this offseason, it also complicates things for the Commanders and Tunsil. There are two possible outcomes for Williams and the 49ers, and both impact Washington in different ways. Williams could receive a contract extension with the 49ers for a considerable price, or be released and sign a lucrative contract with the team that offers the highest value. Either way, Williams will get a good salary, even turning 38 before the start of the season. Tunsil represents himself, so there's no rush for him this offseason, and that's a problem. He certainly has a value in mind, which should be around $29 to $30 million per year. These figures would redefine the market and give him the highest average annual salary among all tackles in the NFL, and he deserves it after a stellar 2025 season. He could also simply wait, let Williams earn $30 million or more per year this offseason, and then try to outdo that offer with a slightly higher amount. Peters has stated multiple times that he wants to get a deal done as soon as possible, but Tunsil could simply hold off until Williams resolves his dispute and possibly restructures the market first. And now, get ready for the toughest decision. You'll understand why the Commanders will be intensely tested this offseason after the latest news about Bobby Wagner, a future Hall of Fame member who wants to keep playing but goes against our younger team philosophy. The Washington Commanders will enter a crucial free agency period in less than 2 weeks, and will have to make tough decisions along the way. They have already re-signed 2 of their free agents, Tress Way and Andrew Wiley, and still have 31 free agents with contracts expiring. Some will be worth keeping, while others will need to go and be replaced by better players. The Commanders will face their toughest decision soon, with a key veteran looking to play again in 2026. The Commanders have no choice but to re-sign some free agents, given the number of players who will become free agents. General Manager Adam Peters will have to make tough decisions, but has already outlined the team's plans for this offseason. They want a younger, faster team, but at what cost? Many veteran players are looking to return to the field in 2026, and Peters will have to decide whether to keep his word or make an exception. Future Hall of Famer linebacker Bobby Wagner wants to continue his career, and now all eyes are on the Commanders. Wagner had a stellar 2025 season in terms of run defense and tackles, with an impressive 162 tackles, but his numbers were not enough to compensate for his deficiencies in coverage last season. He allowed 3 touchdowns in coverage, the most in a season for Wagner since 2019, along with 551 yards allowed. The Commanders still need a linebacker, but should that influence Bobby Wagner's return? The question everyone is asking is whether the Commanders should bring Bobby Wagner back in 2026. The Commanders need a younger, more agile defense, which unfortunately is the opposite of Wagner. Linebacker Frankie Luvu is expected to return to his best form under new defensive coordinator Daronte Jones, and they have Jordan Magee as a solid, young piece for the rotation. Washington should be in the market for a top linebacker, like Devin Lloyd or Key Walker, and part ways with Wagner. Head coach Dan Quinn obviously likes Wagner, but said at the NFL Scouting Combine that the team has not made a decision yet, and will need to do so in the coming weeks. The best decision will be the hardest, and the Commanders need to respectfully head in another direction, as they have already done this preseason. Quinn brought in a new defensive coordinator, Daronte Jones, instead of another known name, and he needs to do the same with the roster. As a fan, I understand that Wagner is a legend, but sometimes we need to make tough decisions with the future in mind. And now, to wrap it up. You'll understand why we should re-sign Deebo Samuel, the receiver who became our number one when McLaurin got injured, and why he is crucial for Jayden Daniels' success in 2026. The Washington Commanders' decision to sign wide receiver Deebo Samuel made a lot of sense at the time, and there are reasons to believe he should remain with the team in 2026 as well. Samuel was acquired by the Commanders from the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for a fifth-round pick and became the team's top receiver last season. Although the initial plan was for him to be Terry McLaurin's right-hand man, he ended up taking on the number one receiver role as his teammate was injured for most of the season. The Commanders may try to replicate the formation this season, hoping that McLaurin and Samuel become a strong duo when both are healthy. Samuel provided Washington with solid production in an offense shaken by injuries to key players. The question for Samuel will be the cost. The Commanders only traded a fifth-round pick for him, so they don't need to justify the trade by signing a new contract with Samuel, which cost $17.5 million last season, wrote ESPN journalist John Keim. His production was solid: 72 receptions, 727 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He carried the ball 17 times after averaging 45 per year over the last 4 seasons in San Francisco, Keim continued. Deebo Samuel will have suitors in free agency, and that's a reality we need to face. Samuel's situation as a free agent will be interesting, as other teams may be eyeing a quality receiver to bolster their roster. The Commanders would do well to stay in the running for his signature. The Commanders need to invest as much time and energy as possible in the draft on defense, and that's clear. This means that free agent signings should be directed toward offense. Washington needs a receiver to play alongside McLaurin to have a complete roster. This will greatly help Jayden Daniels and keep the offense balanced and dynamic. The rationale for bringing Samuel into the group is solid and shouldn't change. Samuel can represent the threat and target that will open up space for McLaurin, so the Commanders should consider the idea of bringing him back. The Commanders shouldn't give everything up to ensure Samuel's presence on the roster, but they should be willing to make a competitive offer that Samuel, at the very least, should seriously consider. As a fan, I see Samuel as an important piece for our success in 2026. So, fan, after discovering that Laremy Tunsil's negotiations took a hit with Trent Williams entering contract disputes and potentially earning $30 million per year, understanding that Bobby Wagner wants to keep playing, but goes against our philosophy of a younger team, and knowing we must renew Deebo Samuel to have a strong receiving duo with McLaurin, which of these decisions leaves you most divided? Do you believe we should pay $30 million per year to Tunsil to keep him as our elite left tackle, or would it be smarter to let him go and invest in a young player? And more importantly, do you trust that Dan Quinn will make the right choices between keeping veterans like Wagner or moving on with younger players, while also renewing Samuel and building a competitive offense around Jayden Daniels? Share your opinion in the comments. I want to know what you think about the future of the Washington Commanders. Hello, Washington Commanders fans. Get ready for an analysis that will leave you concerned, because you'll discover how the Laremy Tunsil negotiations have taken an unexpected turn after Trent Williams entered into a contract dispute with the 49ers, and how this could cost millions more to renew our left tackle. But it doesn't stop there. We're going to dive into the toughest decision Dan Quinn will have to make regarding Bobby Wagner, a future Hall of Fame member who wants to keep playing but goes against our younger team philosophy. And there's more. You'll understand why we need to extend Deebo Samuel, the receiver who became our number one when McLaurin got injured. The Washington Commanders are at the 2026 NFL Scouting Combine this week, and will then get back to business with the start of free agency on March 9th. As a fan who follows every move, I know these upcoming weeks will be crucial for the team's future. Even at the NFL Scouting Combine, the Commanders were questioned